Evadne, known online as Nova, slammed her controller down, the defeat in the virtual arena a stark reflection of the frustration brewing inside. She was on a downward spiral, forced to move to a quaint countryside town, Indigo Hollow, as it was ironically named. She'd left behind her flourishing esports career and bustling city life. Her grandmother's illness was a harsh reality check, and responsibility outweighed dreams. The only solace was her virtual reality, where she could escape into the vibrant, pixelated worlds of her favorite games. As she browsed an online gaming forum, a username caught her eye: Indigo. It belonged to a player who, like her, seemed to embody a fierce competitive spirit. They engaged in playful banter and exchanged strategies, finding an unspoken connection in the world of virtual combat. "You should try our local cafe." The virtual message from Indigo popped up. "It's called the Indigo Hour. Kind of fitting, don't you think?" Evadne was intrigued. Despite the lackluster internet, the town had a certain charm, and a good cup of coffee would be a welcome distraction from the loneliness that had been gnawing at her. Later that day, with a quiet sigh, she walked towards the Indigo Hour. The cafe was bustling with warmth and a soft, earthy aroma, unlike the sterile, metallic air of her grandmother's home. Her gaze fell on a tall figure behind the counter, with messy brown hair and an easygoing smile that radiated a comforting aura. His eyes met hers, and an unfamiliar pang resonated within her. Could this be Indigo? The realization brought a nervous blush to her cheeks, her online confidence faltering. "You're Nova, aren't you?" the cafe owner asked. "I knew you were behind that controller. You're even better looking in real life." Evadne laughed, flustered. Well, you too." The internet, a world where personality thrived and physicality was irrelevant, suddenly felt shallow. He smiled again. "I'm Zander. What can I get for you?" The rest of the afternoon blurred into a warm conversation, where real life was far more intriguing than any virtual game. She found out he was a game developer in the making, his passion bubbling beneath a laid-back demeanor. His ambition echoed her own, resonating deeply with her heart. It was then, amidst the gentle clinking of spoons against porcelain and the soft chatter of patrons, that a spark ignited. "It's hard," Zander admitted, stirring his coffee with a heavy sigh. "Building a game from scratch takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Not to mention sleepless nights and mountains of caffeine." Evadne knew the feeling. Her eyes sparkled as she detailed her struggles with her team in the esports world. It was a shared language, a kinship forged in the digital realm. Soon, their casual coffee visits blossomed into weekly game nights at the cafe, where they played strategy games together. The quiet camaraderie was intoxicating, the competition a playful dance. The game screen wasn't a barrier between them. It was a window to their souls, unveiling hidden strengths and vulnerabilities. "I never realized how beautiful these old ruins are," Evadne said, lost in the picturesque remnants of the town's past, Zander beside her. They spent an afternoon exploring, tracing history through crumbling stone and whispering stories. Evadne, initially dreading her newfound rural life, found herself drawn into the quaint rhythm of the countryside. Zander's passion for his town resonated in the quiet trails and the vibrant local markets. He introduced her to the charm of the village life, discovering beauty she hadn't noticed in the blinding lights of the city. In the evenings, Evadne spent time with her grandmother, sharing stories of the town with her. A bond began to emerge between them as the illness chipped away at the distance that had separated them. They worked together on a prototype, late nights blurring into a passionate blur. Evadne brought her marketing and strategic expertise, while Zander poured in his artistic flair and creative vision. They were building something together, not just a game, but a world of their own. Zander's eyes would meet hers at a moment of intense focus, a warmth radiating from them. He was passionate, dedicated, and strangely endearing in his quiet confidence. "The characters need to feel real," she said, pushing a strand of hair away from her forehead. "We need to give them relatable problems, dreams, a little bit of humanity." He nodded, a sudden shy smile gracing his face. "Maybe they should be inspired by people we know, people we love." His gaze lingered on hers, unspoken words hanging between them. A meeting with a prestigious gaming company shook Zander's world. They were captivated by his game prototype and offered him a lucrative partnership. But the catch was to relocate, to join their established team in the city. The thought of being in the city, his dream realized, but with his life significantly changing, weighed heavily on his mind. "It's hard," Zander confided in Evadne, the worry etched on his face. "This is my dream, my chance to break through. But I don't want to leave Indigo Hollow. I don't want to leave you." She looked into his eyes, a knot forming in her stomach. "You don't have to choose between your dreams and the life you want." Their relationship was evolving, the warmth between them a potent mix of friendship, mutual respect, and undeniable attraction. Leaving felt like betrayal, but staying felt like sacrificing ambition. There were difficult decisions to make. "I know how hard this has been for you, Evadne," Zander confessed, sitting on the edge of the bridge overlooking the river. He shared his conflicted emotions, his insecurities about pursuing his dream. He loved Indigo Hollow. He loved the town, and most importantly, he loved her. She squeezed his hand gently, her heart thrumming with a deep, unfamiliar yearning. "What you want is to create a game that touches people, a game that is honest, genuine." He looked at her, his gaze intense. "Like the life we are building, genuine, honest, with you?" Her breath hitched in her throat. A warmth bloomed inside her, erasing the distance she had felt. His hand intertwined with hers. "Let's build our own world, Zander," she whispered. "Our own Indigo Hour." The next day, Zander stood before the executives, his words resolute. "I will take the challenge, but not the partnership." Evadne stood by his side, witnessing his unwavering determination. The risk was huge, but she knew it was the right choice, one that mirrored the depth of their bond. Together, they poured all their energy into building the Indigo Hour. Each sleepless night was filled with creativity and passionate discussions. The journey wasn't easy, but with each challenge overcome, their bond strengthened, their dream becoming more concrete. As Evadne designed their marketing campaign, she reflected on her journey, a whirlwind of heartbreak and unexpected discovery. From the depths of grief and loneliness, she had discovered a community, a purpose, a love that bloomed amidst a virtual battlefield. On launch day, Zander stood with Evadne by his side, a proud grin spreading across his face. The Indigo Hour had arrived, a testament to their unwavering dedication and love. Their love had found its form in the game's storyline, an online world filled with heart, resilience, and adventure, where the magic of virtual reality blended seamlessly with the grounded warmth of their love story. As they stood before the world they created, they embraced their connection, transcending the pixelated realms and finding its expression in a real-life symphony of passion and resilience. Their love story wasn't a typical romance, but a tale woven into the very fabric of their creation. And like the cafe that brought them together, the Indigo Hour, both a place and a shared passion, promised to be the dawn of a new era in their lives.